this Motive Garage and GT-R and RB tuning guide crossover, we're testing some JDM coil kits for the RB to see if they can handle some Aussie horsepower. Now, it's safe to say that most of the people watching this know that the R35 Coil Kit is the go-to upgrade for your RB engine, but there are lots of other options out there. I've seen everything from Yaris to R8 and plenty of ignition system companies that make their own coil or a coil with a lead for the RB engine. But before we look at the R35 Coil Kits that we've got, let's take a look at the bigger picture when it comes to the ignition system on an RB. Now, they use a coil-on-plug ignition system, but most RBs have a separate igniter rather than an igniter built into each individual coil. Now, back in the day, you used to see a lot of cars with the OEM coils making 600, 700, 800 horsepower, even 1,000 horsepower when combined with an aftermarket igniter, like the HKS system that you used to see a lot back in the day. Splitfire coil packs became the go-to for probably almost 2 decades. I've seen them make 1,000 horsepower. They did plenty of 8 and 9 second passes in GTRs in Japan, and I used them in our R32 GTR for all of our stock bottom end development. But the other reason that Splitfire coils were popular is quite simply because they were cheaper than OEM. And the OEM coils actually aren't that bad. Like I said, I've seen them handle plenty of power. The biggest problem with the OEM coils is quite simply, they're old. And if your car's done 100,000 kilometers, it's stuck in the valley cover, lots of heat cycles, they just deteriorate. So most of the time, it wasn't that the OEM coils weren't capable of the power that you had when they were new, they were just old, and the Splitfire was the go-to. Now, it's been basically 10 years since the very first R35 coil kit, and the very first one that I've ever seen released was from Godzilla Motorsport in Queensland, and we had their coil kit in our R32 GTR back in 2017. We went into the nines with that coil kit as well. And obviously since then, there are plenty of different R35 coil kits available. Now, we installed a PRP R35 coil kit in our GTR after we did our first built engine. Now, they're a Hitachi R35 coil. They have a different part number to the OEM Nissan ones that you buy from Nissan. Reports are that they do the exact same job. We will say this though, we made over 1,000 horsepower on the Hitachi coils, did our 8-second passes on them and had no issues. We changed to PRP's IGN-35A just purely, well, just to test them and showcase them. We didn't actually need to upgrade to them, but we could, so we did. Now, the only issue we've had or seen with the PRP R35 coil kit is that you need dielectric grease on the stalks. Now, PRP make their own stalks so they can sit the coils lower in the valley, which means the valley cover can fit over the top, while if you use factory stalks, you can't fit it. Now, another issue that we've seen with the PRP IGN-35A kit is quite simply just the size of them. Sometimes you can't fit a strut brace into your engine bay because it hits the IGN-35A coils. Now, if you have an RB30 block, that's definitely an issue. And that's actually what started this whole process of us deciding to test some coils. I wanted to fit the Garage Active titanium strut brace to my R32, but it hit on the IGN-35A coils. And once again, it's not a thing where we need to change coils because there's any problem with performance that we have right now. We've been running totally fine on the PRP kit. We just wanted to test out a few options so we can show you guys what does and doesn't work. So what do we have to compare? Well, we've got the PRP IGN-35A Coil Kit as the baseline on the car right now. We're going to be testing some OEM R35 GT-R coils, some Splitfire coils, and the HKS Superfire Racing Coil Pro Kit. We aren't going to see which one makes the most power because in theory, they should all be capable of the same power. We just want to see, can all of these coils perform the same job on the power that this car makes? 1,170 horsepower is its normal power on a cool day. We just want to see if we put all those coils in, do they live up to it? Can they handle it? and do they not misfire? So that really is just the test. It's more, do they work, as opposed to which one works the best, because they should all be capable of doing the job. Now, the OEM R35 coils using a factory stalk means they can't fit under the valley cover. We're just going to be putting them on a Croydon Racing Developments bracket. Now, you can also get a kit like that from MR Engineering, EFI Solutions. You can use a PRP coil bracket kit as well and put the OEM coils into that. There's quite a few options, but they're some of the better and well-known ones that we know you can buy and that will work. Now, the Splitfire R35 coils didn't come in a kit, so we're just going to put them into a PRP bracket to put into the car. And the HKS kit is the most intricate kit of the lot. I am super excited to try out the HKS Superfire Racing Coil Pro Kit. I've never actually seen one of these used on a big Aussie GT-R, at least not with my own eyes anyway, so I'm pretty excited to test it. And the main reason it's more intricate than the others is actually because of this. These aluminium tubes that go over the ignition coil stalk actually act to waterproof and dustproof the ignition system. Now, the biggest problem that I see with these R35 coil kits and no valley cover in GTRs is when you have a vented bonnet, you go to wash the car or drive it in the rain, and you get water all through the valley cover, which can create misfires from rusty spark plugs, or the coil gets damaged from water. I've seen it so many times, it's not funny. In fact, I've completely lost count of how many times I've seen it, and the whole purpose of this is to eliminate that, which is perfect because I love having a vented bonnet on a GTR so that you get better cooling, better aero, but I don't want the issue with water getting into the coils. And HKS, that is the solution. So it has an O-ring sealed tube to seal that up. It comes with the bracket. You have the R35 coil. You have a factory style stalk. The tip is a different color, so I can't confirm if it is just a genuine Nissan with a different tip on the end, but they say this is a better insulator according to their marketing material, and it also comes with a loom that's designed to plug into the factory loom. Now, our car has an aftermarket loom that's custom made, but we're still able to bolt this in because it's 35 coils in and out each time. Now, one thing that keen eyes will notice about the 35 coil kit is that the coils themselves are not perfectly parallel to each other. Two of them aren't the same direction as the others. Now, there's a reason for that. It's so that it clears the V-cam system from HKS. Other coil kits don't have this. This is why you often see this coil kit used in a car that has a HKS V-cam system. You can modify the other ones to fit, but out of the box, they generally don't. But the overall fit, finish, and the quality of the HKS kit, well, it's as good as you expect from HKS after all these years. But obviously, you get what you pay for. So let's talk about price. An OEM R35 coil kit is between $1,000 and $1,200 depending on the brand. And you can make a Splitfire coil kit for pretty much the same price. Actually, the Splitfire coils retail for less than OEM coils most of the time. And the HKS kit is the most expensive, retailing for $2,200, but I've seen them for between $1,900 and $2,000 Australian dollars. Once again, you get what you pay for. Now, the goal of this test, once again, is not to see which one makes the most horsepower. They should all be the same. It is just to see if the JDM coils can match the OEM R35 coils or the PRP coils that are in the car. Now, the car makes between 1120 and 1170 horsepower, depending on conditions on the day, such as temperature, how much heat soak the car's had, etc. That's, I guess, 1300 horsepower at the engine, or some people might even say 1400 bhp. So that gives you an idea of what sort of power we're looking at with this car. So it's time to head to Croydon Racing Developments, put some fresh spark plugs in and get testing. Let's go. Oh, wait, before you do, don't forget, jump on our online store, grab yourself a Jet RH9, Jet 200 t-shirt. You can also pre-order the Project No Secrets t-shirt and a whole bunch of other merchandise to support the channel. Okay, now let's go. The first thing we needed to do is get a baseline figure for the day on the existing setup using the PRP IGN-35A Coil Kit. It was a very hot day in Sydney, 35 degrees Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit for our USA viewers, so we were a little down on power on the day, but it's all relative. As long as we're consistent over the day, that's all that matters. First up, we fitted the Splitfire coils with the OEM stalks fitted to a PRP bracket. No misfire and no real difference in power means the Splitfire coils pass the test. Next up, the HKS Superfire Racing Coil Pro Kit. Now this takes a little bit more time to install in sections, but it's very straightforward. You can see here the angle of the coils, which allow for the VCAM system, but once the wiring is in, it's less noticeable and looks great. No misfires, no loss of power, so the HKS coils pass the test. Our last test is the Croydon Racing Developments Kit using OEM R35 GT-R Coils and stalks. This is assembled on the bench, so it drops in complete very quickly. No misfire and no loss of horsepower as expected from the OEM coils. When it's a 35-degree day and you're doing 20 dyno runs in under 2 hours. That just shows that the car is pretty consistent. Well, the test went exactly as I hoped and predicted. In this day and age of internet trickery and AI, you can't go off what your brothers, cousins, uncles, sisters, brothers, nephews, dad did 7 years ago, and you can't go off theoretical tests. Sometimes you just need to put the parts in a car and test them out. And I'd never seen the HKS or the Splitfire coils tested or seen them used with my own eyes, so I just wanted to simply try them out. So they work perfectly fine on the power that are on. How much more power could they handle? Well, I'm not sure, or not yet anyway. You know me, we'll be making more power in R32 GT-R in the future. We hope you enjoyed this coil test video. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video, comment down below what other tests you'd like us to see you to do. Grab some merch online store, and we'll see you next time.